Hello and welcome to Python Fundamentals. My name is Sanjin. I am a teacher and a robotics engineer, and the course you're about to undertake, is, in my opinion, probably the best Python beginner course on the internet. Now, that claim requires some elaboration, so here it is. Over the past 3 years, I have been teaching Python, and for 2 of those, the majority of my professional work has been working with secondary schools to teach teachers, train them on how to bring Python to the classroom and to write resources that help them to do so. So, long story short, 2 years of my life spent trying to simplify this stuff and make it as easy as possible. So I'm going to elaborate now. And first of all, let's start with a curriculum. Now, this course is aiming for you to achieve mastery in the essentials, like the foundations to a large tower of knowledge that you're aiming to build. So by the time we're done, you are going to be really fluent and fluid in variables, integers, floats, and strings, control structures, which means loops and if statements, functions, and data structures, in particular lists and dictionaries. Now, for each of these concepts, we're going to go through this learning process. Essentially, we're going to start off by demonstrating that concept with both visual and text output. So, for example, here are 2 programs. They are the simplest possible examples for a for loop in Python. The first one is going to give us a text output. So this one is going to take in a number and return a times table. The second one will use Turtle, which is a drawing software, to start drawing a set of lines, every one slightly longer. And this is also going to use the looping variable I in a different visual way. Next, you will get to apply these core concepts and test your understanding with 10 different coding exercises. So, last thing we mentioned were loops. Right here in these 10 exercises, you have to write 10 functions. Each of them is going to have to use a loop in some way. And this one is going to return prime numbers under a particular value. Once you're done, you have a solution. You can click here, check solution. You will know if your answer is correct or wrong, and you will even get your result compared with the ideal result. So the other example is similar. You put in a string, you have to reverse a string, and again, check your solution. These are a very new feature in Udemy, and I'm loving them. So once we have understood those fundamental concepts and tested our knowledge with the 10 exercises, we're going to go on to apply all this to write some useful and interesting programs. The first of which is going to be a user authentication program that uses dictionary data structures. This is going to be very similar to a database, perhaps the simplest possible version of it. This will be followed by a guessing number game and then a human reaction time measurement program, where essentially you press a button, when a go signal comes on, you get your result in milliseconds. Type of thing that you can sort of race against your friends with. Another one of a similar description is the human memory training program, where you get a sequence of random numbers that you try to memorize. And then you can play with the variables like how many random numbers and how much time you have to memorize those. Last of these programs is going to be the palindrome discovery program, which takes in a large list of words, pretty much close to all the words in the English language, and checks all of them for which ones can be spelled forwards and backwards the same way. These are also known as palindromes. We're going to discover all the one-word palindromes in English. So the last thing we're going to do in this course, the cherry on the cake, if you will, is going to be a set of encryption tutorials. Now, these are going to recreate Caesar ciphers and polyalphabetic ciphers, essentially all the encryption technology leading up to something like the 1930s. So from mechanistic devices to code. That more or less sums up the course. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in there. Bye-bye.